Hello and welcome to Train Sim TV. Today we are on Train Sim Classic. It's the reboot of Train Sim Classic. It's basically new UI splash screen Train Sim Classic. If you've been a player of the game for many years. Other than that, today we are looking at the all new Class 165 and Class 166 DMU from Alan Thompson Simulation. This is part of their new Train Sim Classic Ready range. Although I'm not sure what else it'd be ready for, but it's TS Classic ready, unless they're going to bring it on something else as well. But no, it's TS Classic ready. So we have been subject to an awful Class 166 since the dawn of time in TS Classic. If you could just cast yourself back to 2007 when Train Sim Classic, back in the day, was Railworks, or Rail Simulator, shall I say? It was Rail Simulator when it first came out, and then went to Railworks. We've had that monumental heap of turd since the dawn of time, and today in 2025, somewhat nearly 20 years later, I'm right, 20 years, nearly 20 years, quite shocking really, we're actually getting a brand new unit. So this is a port from Train Sim World. If you're familiar with Train Sim World and Great Western Express, it is that model that has been backported into TS Classic and brought into this sim. Basically to give you a better experience with this class of stock. And my god, it's time that we actually got in with this and have a nosy. Now, there's a few bits and pieces. There's a couple of bugs I've seen. I think there's no bogey sounds or running sound or something, or track joints at the minute. Apparently there's a patch going for that. And I've heard that the audio on the exterior is a little bit loud. But I've actually seen some messages on the community there. I think it's Woody, the Searchlight Simulation Woody, who's working on the audio. Apparently he's already done some work on the exterior and toned it down. So I'm not going to comment too much on that. It's not the end of the world. We're going to be sat in the cab anyway, so it really doesn't bother me. So first of all, let's get this set up. Got a self-test. Leave the DRM for a moment. We're going to get it into full off guard mode. Doors open. We need to set our GSMR up. Now this scenario is one from Just Trains' Swexer route. I've just cloned it and basically updated it to use this 166 pack, and I've also slapped in the new MTU pack from AP as well. So have some new stock in it really. So this is 2K32. Even the clicks on that GSM are a little bit noisy, but I think basically some sounds probably want toning down from what I've sort of worked out on the gist of conversation. 4, 2. So that's our GSMR setup. We need to set the destination. Now I've got the route code set up on this already. And we are code 006 on the Voltron. Now you can actually swap this between Voltron and Train Effects with on the fly control. Oh good god, what I've done here. No. I'm not gonna mess with that. Unless I can find it in the manual. Hang on. Let me have a look. There's a manual. Keyboard controls. So you can change that with F7. Oh, there you are. F7 does it. Which is quite cool. You can actually change it. So that's Train Effects. We're on Voltron. I think in 2010 it was Voltron. Train Effects was newer. Right, so that's that. So we'll have a nose in the cab in a moment. We're going to turn the DRI off. What else have we got? There's some bits of here. Train lighting on. I don't think any of them buttons up there do anything. Train preheat, we don't need that. Standing isolating, I presume something maybe. Light, there's cab light. There's the garden buzzer. I'm not sure if in real life that maybe lights up green. Has a backlight in it, I don't know. Looks like one of them kind of buttons that potentially might have a backlight on it. Sort of like plastic, sort of hollow buttons. Instrument lights, you can do a There we go. You can dim it and backlit. Different setting on that. GSM we've looked at. With a nice new horn. Reading light is for the clipboard there. It's very faint. Probably at night time would be better to see that one. Hazard lights work. There you can see them flashing in there. And the markers are flashing there. And when you turn that off, the lights don't come back on. Okay. Hang on. I've just broke. Oh no, hang on, they've come back on. Maybe you have to do that, I don't know. There we go. That might be a glitch. I'm presuming they probably should go back to the normal state. You can open your door by clicking. You can't open the windows, but if I remember correctly, Train Sim World model doesn't have window opening functionality either. It'd be nice maybe seen that happening there, but it might be a bit too much work to get that going. Either way, anyway, right, let's actually get moving. Near the brakes, at the air hissing on the brakes there. Right, let's get going. It already sounds so much nicer than the one we've had. Bloody hellfire. I definitely would say that it's very loud in the cabin. A lot of loudness. So I'm presuming that some stuff might well get toned down when they update it. You can play with the seat, which is cool. You can have some sound, which is quite nice. I'd maybe say the sensitivity on the power brake controls is a little bit on the slow side. Like going through, but it's just minor. Yeah, the fans are working, look. The detail moves so much nicer. So we've got cab, we've got the interior there. Not sure whether it's an interior taken from TSW or not. We're into Reading West. This service is going to Bedwin, but we're probably not going to go all the way to Bedwin. We're just going to take it for a little nosy. Probably take it as far as maybe Newbury or something. We'll see how we get on. I'd say car protection is a little bit on the low res side compared to everything else. Seating and all that looks alright. Texture wise, maybe a little bit flat on the panelling for the most part. Probably could do a bit more, I don't know, maybe a bit of an AO bake on it maybe. A little bit flat plastic. Cab wise looks alright. I don't know about that. So this unit is like the hole on this route. Christ almighty. So, British Squill. Nice sounds on braking, like that. Especially when you're going through this power brake control wheel, like through the notches, it makes some nice noises. Got a new driver. That's not a default TS driver. But that's the same guy that had it on the Flirt, maybe? I don't know. Moving down the bottom of the air dam there. air hiss compressor potentially as well. Always a NPC in the way, isn't there? Where is the best size to try and get a screenshot of that? Because that's quite not quite work that, is it? Maybe. Now it did hang for about a minute there, but I cut that out. You didn't miss anything. I'll just wait till I reset the clip there. Right. Anyway, let's get moving. I tried to get the AP weather to work on it, and I don't know if it's working. I had some issues, so I'm not sure if I'm running on default weather, but not too bad. No idea why the AP weather's not taking effect on room. Something that's stopping it. Okay, so there is a DSD message pops up like it does on AP stuff. It's slightly different. It actually tells you to lift up within 5 seconds, which is cool. Not an awful feature. Alright, so little overview. So the TSC Ready Series brings selected Train Sim world stock into Train Simulator Classic, carefully adapted to operate reliably within the Train Sim Classic environment. Each release includes simple but effective refinements to physics, sound, and systems, ensuring authentic performance and dependable functionality at a budget-friendly price. Now, I've seen a few comments on the budget-friendly price slogan because moving £22. I mean, I bought this for £22. I'm not arsed. I bought it at the price that I got it for. I'm not a subscriber to ATS, so I'm not going to subscribe and then get it cheaper. You can have the argument of what you want for that. I mean, my only little argument is it only comes with 3 liveries, and it hasn't got the NSC or FGW link, but apparently they're coming as a free update down the line. Apparently they didn't have time to add them, but whether that's plausible, true or not, I don't know. But there we are. Hopefully we don't have to wait 9 years for them. Chilton's not included. Apparently there's a few differences with that. I think like different sizes of windows and all the bits and pieces, so they're not included, they're omitted. Whether they come down the line, I don't know. There's no definite yes or no that they're coming in the future, but it would be nice to see them. I know Chiltern Main Line route isn't great. It's Metropolitan Line exists, and there is operation up there for them. Yeah, we've got First Great Western, which is the one we're on the dynamic lines. We've got Blue and GWR. So basically, the modern scene's covered in this pack. What is max speed on these? 90 mph. I like it sounds decent. They actually sound, I think they sound better than TSW's ones. I wonder if they've actually been out and recorded their own new sounds. Unless they've been given the TSW ones and they've just done some stuff with them. I don't know. It does sound like the audio's different compared to TSW. That's more bassy. I love that sort of squeaky sound that the brake PVC makes when you're going to braking. Not sure what they call that, but I do like it. It's like it's something going, like it's moving something. Something's mechanically moving. I've caught that really well. It makes little squeaks in there, hissing. Right. Eagle. It's such a long time since I've driven this route. Nice to come back onto it. This gives a whole new lease of life, I think, to this route. Actually, I can see a lot of scenarios for this this unit on here. Handles nicely. Right, whilst we're doing the stop here, for Train Simulator Classic, the new version of the Class 165/166 Turbo brings a familiar unit from Train Sim World, Great Western Express, into TSC. Extensively refined to deliver a more realistic and technically accurate driving experience, the model has been carefully adapted and enhanced with custom physics, sounds and operational systems to closely represent real-world performance. A full suite of working in-cab systems is included, alongside a detailed transmission simulation that accurately reproduces the characteristics of a diesel hydraulic drivetrain. Appropriate modifications have also been made to create a fully functional Class 165 variant, reflecting the key operational and visual differences between the two units. Now, I don't know what the differences are between the two. So I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not even going to sit there and talk about, oh, this is different and that's different, because I have not got a clue. I'm more interested in the fact that we've got a 165, 166 is actually bloody drivable. It doesn't want me to make me poke my eyes out and cry blood and all that dramatics. Key features: realistic transmission simulation and power curves, functional GSMR radio, operational guard mode, which is not like TSW, don't get excited. That's Control R, so you can swap between guard mode and driver, so you can have the driver operate the doors with T and U or whatever they are, the keybinds, or you can just have it press T and the guard does it like within the game, like when the task ends. It's got authentic TPWS and driver vigilance, dynamic hill start behaviour, seasonal wheel slip and wheel slide simulation, multiple passenger views, Ultron and train effects destination systems. That's wrong button. Voltron train effects, destination systems, detailed sound set recorded from the real unit. So it sounds to me like they've gone and done their own recording there. Class-specific detailing differences on windows, vents, and roof panels, etc. So let's just have a quick look at those. So up on the roof, you can see if you plot one of these down next to the base Kuju one, there was literally bugger all on the roof. It was just a flat roof, no detail or anything like that. When the Wessex came out for JT, Jack Hales, who did the work on that route, did a enhanced version of the 165, 166, where we added loads of bits and pieces like the little fins for the GSMR, all these little vents. I'm not sure if he actually added a working fan though. That's new. I definitely don't recall the working fan. That one. Although what Jack did, I believe, also compared to this pack, he added loads of extra little decals that you could turn on and off. Whereas I don't think this pack does that. The differences between the two. I mean, not to be harsh to Jack, because Jack did a lot of work on that. I would choose this one just because it is a newer model and all basically included in this pack. Although, if you don't have this pack and you want to go and drive that one, then you've still got that as an enhanced version of the Kuju one. My preference. Exhaust pipe there is nice. Cover around it. We've got pipes or cables between, or the cables look like they're not actually connected to the socket down there. Detailed rails, nice. I mean, the model itself isn't going to be really any different. It shouldn't be any different from the TSW one. If it's just a straight port over, the model should be exactly the same. There shouldn't be anything lost. And there's plenty of detail drift. Pretty decent. It runs well, and it's not running sluggishly or really bad or anything like that either. It's not actually hitting FPS, right? Yeah, it's looking good. But there's like some shadowing there. There's like something maybe missing there where that shadowing is on the bogey. I don't know. That translation down there. There is actually a fair bit of detail under this undercarriage. I mean, if you've ever got close up and personal with the TSW one, you'd see all the detail there, but it's really nice to see that the detail is actually still there and brought through. Nothing's been dropped. They've kept everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring next. If this is a new series of things, and it sounds to me like they've got plans to bring more stuff, so I'll be interested to see what comes after this. I would personally like to see the Class 380 brought in. I could see them doing the 380 only because Network Scott East is there and there's loads of Scottish routes in the game. That is what I could probably see them doing, maybe. I know Alan's got a soft spot for Scottish stuff. I could see that potentially coming one day. I'm just trying to think what other trains we've got in TSW that are actually worth bringing over. We don't need a 66. We've got the TS Classic AP stuff, so wouldn't need that. HST's already been brought into the game, the LNER one, so I can't see him bringing a HST. We have already got AP stuff, so I can't see him doing that. Pendolino, maybe? Would I see them bringing the Pendo over? Potentially. That is probably what I would maybe see them doing. I think the other one I could potentially see them doing is bringing the 323 over, because they've got it on Manchester Airport Commuter. And the one that's in the game currently in TS Classic isn't the best. I could potentially see them maybe bringing that. But otherwise, I'm trying to think what other units we've got that are worthy to bring. Sort of judging me braking at the minute. I can't believe, to be fair, after so many years of people asking when 166 when, and that's AP, that ATS have finally brought this. I am honestly quite shocked that AP never actually did anything for the 166. After it being asked for so many years. I think, to be honest, I think ATS have pulled a blinder doing this one, because it's an absolute money pit. So many people want this train. So many people will get this train. And there's loads and loads of routes that this train will run on. The game is well catered for this piece of stock. Especially even like these days, these units have moved around a bit. So they're not actually around where they used to be around London. Moved about like sort of Bristol way and stuff like that. Up to Cardiff. Run down the Riviera as well. So there's a lot of routes that you can run with these. Well catered for. That brake screechy, by the way, sort of just abruptly cuts. It doesn't sort of fade off when you stop. It's sort of like, it's that screech. Go. So this also comes with a selection of 4 scenarios. I didn't run any of the scenarios in the pack because personally I'm not a fan of South Wales Coast. It bores me a bit. But I didn't bother with that. So I thought I'll go with changing one of the Swexer scenarios and have a little dabble on here. Because every man and his dog will be playing these scenarios, and Alan will stream these, and I know he's already done a video and stuff, so I thought with his stream as well. I think his stream's still ongoing at the minute while I'm doing this video, so there's no point in me running them scenarios because he'll have done some of them. Right, so let me go to the manual. That's pretty much everything on the website I've just covered. So the manual, you can actually download the manual on the actual store page before purchasing, so you can actually have a little look yourself. But the overview is ATS 166, 165 models with realistic physics, custom sounds and detailed operational systems, which we've already covered. Installation is the usual install process. It's easy. Wee to do that. Log in, install, branding patch yes or no. Really, I don't know why you wouldn't put the branding patch on, but each to their own if they don't like branding. Keyboard controls is a load of keybinds. The keybinds on this are actually a lot better than what Blurt were, in my opinion. These seem to have gone back to a more AP standard setup. The only difference is I like changing the Voltron, but otherwise it's pretty much what we're used to. Hill start, F. Otherwise it's all the usual sort of stuff really. Oh, a little bit about the driving and ops. So transmission is simulated with a Voith T211RZ hydraulic transmission with 2-stage power delivery, torque converter to fluid coupling. This is simulated, but please note the RPM on the hood will not change. Hill start prevents rollback on gradients. Move the PBC to brake step 1. Press hill start button F. Move PBC to notch 1 or up to 3. Wait for the engine RPM to build and then release hill start button F. Emergency brake procedures. Unit stops. Brake demand light. TPWS panel flashes. You'll then move your power brake controller to step 3. And then acknowledge your brake demand with Q. Wait for 30 seconds for the time to expire and the light extinguishes before reapplying your power. We are coming into Midsham. There's some more passenger info stuff in it, which I will cover. Maybe the crossing before or after the station. I think it's just before the crossing. Oh, well, the timing for this pack came out absolutely perfectly for me, just in terms of actually having the funds ready to get it there and then. Very rare that things time and align just right in that department. I was quite chuffed that I didn't have to hang around waiting. All the air hisses and stuff. Right, so passenger information in the manual is a list of all the destination plays that you can put in. There's quite a lot of those. These things really are slot off the mark. They do get going though eventually. Don't know why they call them the turbos, because they take forever. Now, the one thing the manual doesn't cover is the side numbers for the destination codes. So you'd have to go scouring the old net then. You should be able to find them in pictures, hopefully. I think you can disable the DSD. Or you could anyway. Might be Control D actually. Ah, there. This system's isolated. Must be it. Quite cool, it lights up on the console. Next section is your liveries, so we covered this briefly before. You get the first Great Western dynamic lines, which is what we're driving. You get the plain blue, so it's basically the same as dynamic without the dynamic section on there, like the little line at the bottom, and then you get Great Western Railway's green livery, which is what they carry today. I don't think there's any that carry the blue livery these days. I think they're all green nowadays. When we were on the map, we maybe one or two knocking about, but I think for the most part they are now in the green livery. Is this Colthrop crossing? I think it is. Colt Fort, Colt Fort, Colt Fort, Colt Fort. Oh, do it. Your box. I nearly went shift and space bar then for photo, but I'm thinking we're not on TSW. Might be a TSW train, but it's not a TSW game. Now the next section of the manual is for you guys that make scenarios. You'll definitely want to have a look through that. It tells you about the formations and how to get it in your own scenario. So it's easy. AP class 166 in the object set filter. Enable that, and then you get a number of preloaded consists to play with, or you can make up your own as well if you want to just do it piece by piece, but it tells you what they are. So you have got FGW original formations, which are the older clustered lights and bills. FGW is the newer light clusters and bills, so LEDs. We've got the older ones on this run. And then same again for the GWR stuff as well. It's all self-explanatory. And then the next section is all about how to do your numbering in the functionality stuff, like what your little tweaks and stuff want to be, whether you want to change route code, destination code, start state, destination font, pull start and stuff like that. GSMR, you can preset that as well. So when you, if you want to do like everything all in the cab setup, you could do that. Which is all good. And then it tells you the last bit is about the scenarios. There's 4 of them, all on the South Wales Main Line Bristol Swansea route, which is the unbranded version, which everyone should have that route if you obviously like that area. Quite light on the scenario requirements, to be honest. You need obviously this pack, AP 1/2, MTU 66EP 2.0, the Cummins 158 pack. 170 EP, 175 EP 2.0, the 800 enhancement, and then you need the JNATs and the JSA wagon pack. And then again off Steam Store, this South Wales Main Line Bristol Swansea. So pretty what you like really, and that's across the whole board of all the scenarios. So doesn't tell you individually per scenario, but it has a list. Personally, I do like the touch for like noting per scenario. That is the dev's choice and preference how they do their layout. Finally is the credit section. So Dovetail Games for the original model, and Games, which is model conversion, artwork and scripting, EPSO Woody for sounds, Sean Gallagher for sounds, Alan Thompson for project management, and then finally Richard Fletcher for the scenarios, and also to their beta team for continued and relentless testing. And that is everything in the manual that we need to cover. So we'll take this up to Newbury, up race course, then we'll go to Newbury, and we'll probably call it there because it's a fair run still to Benham. This unit was first shown, I think, with their North Downs. Is it the North Downs line that they're bringing? Which I wasn't over sure if this was going to come with that route, like hand in hand with that route, but it turns out obviously this was its own thing. Not seen anything like that route for a while. I didn't expect this to come out so quick, really. It's sort of like it was shown this morning on Facebook, and then it was coming soon, and then all of a sudden this afternoon it's out. So it's come around a lot quicker than I thought it would. And we've seen it a fair few times on the streams and that, but yeah, they've managed to turn this around quite quick, I think, really. One thing I'm not really noticing, I'm not sure, is like when the trains are coming past you, you're hearing like external noise from another passing train. Yeah, the one thing you're not hearing obviously is like track joints. Hopefully they'll not be too far away in a patch. Hard to believe how old the shoe is now. How long ago we actually we built it and brought it. I'm not really driven it at all, I don't think, with these trees. And even I think the last time I drove it was the older trees. It looks well. Slightly overshot there. Yeah, texturing wise is pretty solid to be honest. I don't think there's really anything to complain about on the textures. This model's not really like a brand new model. This is fair few years old. I think TSW is now about 9 or so years, 8 or 9 years, maybe a little bit longer. It was one of the first DLC for TSW. Exhaust works nice. It get a nice little plume that sort of dies down again. Put power down. There you go. That's done pretty nicely. A weird sort of reverb on the horn there in the distance. We're going to take this as far as Newbury here. We'll let it go off into the distance and end things, but I think for a nice little summary video, it's a decent little pack, to be honest. It does what it needs to do. I'm not going to get into the arguments of pricing. I would have expected to see the other liveries really in there at the price, but as long as we're not waiting and made to wait half a year for these updates, it'd be nice to see them come in, like the deliveries come with like the updates that are needed, the audio bits and pieces and that. No, hopefully we're not too long down the line for them ones, because people really will make use of stuff like that. But, yeah, it's a solid pack, really. I look forward to seeing what comes next. This is obviously a line that's going to be quite a regular thing. I'll put the link in the description below for anyone that wishes to go and have a nosy, maybe pick this one up. It is £21.99 again, and I think it's £14.99 if you're a subscriber. So not a bad price for subs. I say I'm not a subscriber at this moment, so I just got it full pelt. Makes no difference to me. Nothing to really complain on that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit your notification bell for future videos. Anything in the comments, do pop it in below. Any feedback or anything like that, ATF may well see, take it on board. Catch on Twitch on a Monday and Friday at twitch.tv/TrainSim_TV. Till next time, thanks for watching and bye for now.